All right, so let's go ahead and let's see. Rapper tells Tucker Carlson story behind White Lives Matter shirt. I guess.
We'll Tucker Carlson tonight. Kanye West, now known as Ye, is one of the best-selling musical artists in the world. He has also in recent years become a celebrated and very highly paid fashion designer. And of course, for a decade, he was well known to TV audiences as an in-law of the Kardashian family. But it's West's latest incarnation as a kind of Christian evangelist that brought up...
All right, we already know.
But is West crazy? You can judge for yourself as you watch what we're about to show you. He has his own ideas, we can say that, creatively opposed to the effective minds of America. It was not our conclusion. In fact, we've rarely heard a man speak so honestly and on from it, and there's a photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And good, amen, I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's responses. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet. How...
I'm starting to see why they want you to be quiet. Bro, have you ever heard of a Christian rapper? He is saying nothing new. I've been listening to Christian rap and Christian rock for about 9 years. Hardcore. Like, that's 90% of my playlist. I might have a little J. Cole, a little Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I digress. He is not saying nothing new. But I mean, he must be so like intrigued and impressed that a black man is like, I speak to an audience of one, and that's God. Like, how is that impressive? How was that a sense of groundbreaking like news to somebody? Like, okay, but is your actions following that? I don't think so, man. Damn.
When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office, and I liked him.
Yes.
And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends / handlers around me, told me, like, if I said that I liked Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. God. They put my life. They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then. you know, God builds.
Green light me then. Bro, nobody is not worried about you wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. Now, is niggas clowning you? Yeah, we clowning you. We making fun of you. And I'm pretty sure the people in your circle, so-called friends, handlers, whatever you want to call them, I'm pretty sure they didn't say niggas die daily wearing these hats. They gonna clown you. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Oh, your career is gonna be over. Nah, they probably just not gonna mess with you anymore. So, cause some black folks, they see through the facade. They see through the this all that you're doing right here is talking. We see through that. So we ain't gonna bump your music anymore because now you done went to crazy la la land. But who is worried about Kanye West wearing a White Lives Matter shirt to the point to where they want to beat him up, green light him? What is he talking about? So what he's trying to do is set himself up to be like some sort of martyr or something. Like, I'm doing something bold and courageous that nobody, has enough gall and balls to do. No, nobody isn't stupid enough. People have a little bit more common sense. The reason why people don't really mess with Trump like that, because we see the truth. So we're not going to associate ourselves with somebody like that. And honestly, that's like 90% of politicians. To be honest, Trump is just another politician, just another greedy, wealthy, egotistical liar. That's it. Nothing special. There's nothing special about him. Nothing special about him. He comes a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? So this is Kanye West trying to prop himself up as somebody who's bold and courageous and doing something that nobody will dare do because they fear for their lives. Like, come on, bro.
Warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of me being born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, he made me for such a time like this. It's like with David, you know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So when it was time for Goliath to come, you thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath. And the thing that I have is the position, I have my heart, but the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter t-shirt, which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right.
Yeah.
It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. You know, like as if you ask like Tanya Harding how.
Now, I don't want to be the one to tell somebody that God is not speaking to them. Okay. I don't want to be that guy. I don't know God's relationship with other people. I don't know other people's heart. I don't know their position in that relationship, and you know, with their walk with God. I don't know that unless somebody tells me all. And you know, I'm not gonna be that one. But I do know, being a Christian myself, God will never have you do anything that's outside of his word. I'm just saying, if this ain't bringing people closer to God, in a deeper understanding of God, then this is on you, bro. This is what you want to do. And he said it right. Off of emotion. I'm glad he said that first, because that right there was truth. Then he was like, oh man, I need to incorporate God. So yeah, God told me to wear this shirt, and God told me to put White Lives Matter. I don't know, but we do as human beings do things based off emotion, based off of, you know, just attention, and that's all that this is, in my opinion, just a grab for attention.
She did the triple flip or the triple spin. Yeah. She was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format, and that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles, and we are in a battle with the media. Like the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and
does he not know he's on this media? Oh no, but what he deems is correct media is okay with God. I don't know if you've seen a lot of Tucker Carlson's propaganda out there saying white people are in fears of their lives because they're being replaced by immigrants and people who want to take your job and take your family. Like, does he not know who he's speaking to? I don't know. And if media is such an oppression and such against God's word and God, why doesn't he just start his own? No, but of course he has to go to the number one media source out there. Man, it just ain't making sense, bro.
The jokes are not working. This whole like, oh, yeah, he's crazy and all these things, they don't work because the media has, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening. And they stay quiet about it.
What if they?
I want to answer the white. Yeah. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Hardin about the White Lives Matter. My dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha," and I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny, and I said, "Dad, why do you think it was funny?" He said, just a Black man stating the obvious. Yeah. And, my dad doesn't listen to rap music. And
okay, so is it possible that your dad meant to say you're stating the obvious? White lives matter. Obviously it does. Throughout history, obviously white lives have mattered. Where do you think Amber Alert came from? Do we have some black girl insert name here alert? No. Look how just the world just goes in uproar, looking over under every rock in every cave when a white person goes missing. But how many times, how many segments, how many full-blown day-by-day segments when they're talking about a black person going missing? Very rarely to none. So when his dad, if he did say, ha ha ha, you're a black man stating the obvious, that's why nobody's walking around wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, because it's obvious. You ain't saying nothing new. Just read a couple of chapters in a history book. Just flip it to any page, any history book, and it will be plain and clear that that's an obvious statement. You're not saying nothing new. Like 1 + 1 is 2. Can I put that on a shirt? Nah, nigga, it's obvious. We already know that. Teach me something new, but he ain't doing that.
And he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas. And he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have an Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to like take them back and compress them. Like my dad is the most brilliant person that I know. And we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him. Because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal. And my dad would see certain things and say, we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children. And this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her.
Okay. Somebody please tell Mr. Kanye West, how does he think his wife became this multi-billionaire? How do you think she even became somewhat famous? How do you even think people knew her name years ago? Not for the clothes she was wearing. She wasn't wearing like some high fashion top and some expensive jeans and overpriced shoes. It was actually opposite of that, opposite of the clothes. Does he not know that? And her parents assisted her on making that. At least that's what Ray J is saying. And he said he got the receipts. So I'm just so confused. Like, Are we living in the same world here? It's hard
So
for me
I know
to tell.
you give these questions, and I give you like these 3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Following? Okay, cool.
And I am following it.
Oh no, you're the only one, and I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. He hasn't really explained to us why he wore a White Lives Matter shirt, other than God told him to. All right, what was the purpose of it? What was your end goal? What was the results you wanted to see? How was this going to lead people to God, or at least a better understanding of deeper, mysterious things of God and his word? I don't know. I do not know.
Okay.
So you said that your father said when he saw the shirt White Lives Matter, it's great to see a black man stating the obvious. So by which I think you meant that's obviously true.
Yeah, that my favorite response, because I kept on thinking, like, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote White Lives.
Okay. I haven't seen this. I don't know what he's going to say. I pray and I hope it's going to be something to think about, something to ponder and just meditate on. And let's take a listen.
Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. Why do you think that's?
Oh my God.
So, and I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be considered controversial?
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
Are you talking about white people? Are those the people you're talking about? I don't know. Let's listen.
And the vernacular that we're supposed to have. My dad grew up as a military brat, and his family moved around, but they were based mostly in Delaware. And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few. And he would be discriminated against because he was black. So by the time he got into college, he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college, he would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white.
Yes.
And then he played the kick drum in the band. So when he would go to the club and the music was playing, where would he clap his hands? Where the kick drum is.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite of where everyone else was
exactly.
clapping their hands. And this is the most elegant and tasteful person that I know. And when my mom, when the school suggested, like the hurting.
Okay, so before he proceeds, I want to say it's important to state that is an issue in black culture. Okay, black people are not a monolith. They're not just one type of black person. Okay, you have niggas who speak slang. You got niggas who speak proper. You got some niggas who some real hood niggas. You got niggas who are just nerdy. You know what I'm saying? And loves playing video games. You got niggas who want to be rappers and football players and basketball stars. Then you got black people who want to be musicians and painters and doctors and lawyers and teachers. It's such a 3D just overall type of black person. It's just a wide range of black people. And even me growing up in school, I noticed that, like if you actually wore your pants on your hips, you would get clowned on. if you actually wore clothes that fit you, which I mean, you know, that's kind of the style today, you would get clowned on. They say your shirt's too small. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, you know, some of the things you just have to deal with growing up. Now, if you take that, if you seen that your dad was struggling as a black man dealing with those kind of stereotypes, how does that get you to where you're at now? You think you would be prompt to educate people and show them that there's different types of black folks out there, not just a one singular type. Like, how does that equal a Kanye West? I don't get it.
Systems, because what they do is take the black community and they separate us, and they separate the families, and the educated, they push this, need for.
And he keeps saying they. Who is they? I want names. I want organizations. I want business. First and last names. Give me that. But he just keeps saying they. Who is they? Disney, Adidas, liberals, Republicans, white people, other black people, Asians, who is they taking away from black families? Who is that? I actually want to know.
Higher education, and us as blacks, we discriminate against each other and say, well, I got my PhD and you don't have your PhD, so I'm better than you. And so my mom, she had a PhD, and she was influenced to move to the south side of Chicago and take this job at Chicago State University. And she told my dad, if you come for us, you'll never see him again. Because, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children.
Yeah, that's pretty stalkerish.
That's how I knew that my mom had said that to him. I said, Dad, they moved us to one of the most agreed upon to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's almost like they tried to kill me or something. I said, Dad, why'd you never come to get us? And that's when he told me that she was told that. There's so many things that are put in Kim's head. They bring influencers, like no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from. These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the things that they're really good at doing is being nice and being likable. And what they do is, for people that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department at Chicago State University, or whether it's the most influential white woman on the planet, being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of. And if you have a person that isn't afraid of them, like a Russell Brand or Candace Owens. Right. It's not that we have to agree with this, but
they're not afraid.
They're not afraid to state what their opinion is.
Yes.
No one is God, and everyone has an opinion.
No one is God, and everybody has an opinion. That is facts. But if your opinion is crazy, not based in reality, not based in statistics, who cares about your opinion? We're going to utilize our voices and clown the hell out of you. That's just how it works. Just because you got an opinion doesn't mean that you won't get clowned or get questioned or get some pushback. Because you just talking out the side of your neck. That's why. Like T.I. told to Candace Owens, you started off with some bullshit. That's why everybody just looking at you funny. Because you on that bullshit. All right, let's go ahead. Go back here. All right. We probably got time for one more here.